Hello, adventurers! Challenging the expectations of travelers, the divinity with the most sanctuaries in Athens and its surroundings is not Zeus, nor Apollo, nor any of the other gods of Olympus, but a much smaller figure, Pan. In this video, we are going to explain the origin of the popularity of this deity, to visit the multiple sanctuaries throughout Athens and Attica, and to explain some unexpected curiosities. This is Aventuras a pie de página, and I am Esteban, your guide today. In ancient mythology, Pan was the god of the wild, protector of shepherds and flocks, and companion of the nymphs. Although his upper half resembled a human body, he had the legs, ears, and horns of a goat like a faun or satyr. As a rustic god, Pan was not worshipped in temples or buildings, but in natural environments such as caves and caverns, although there are some exceptions. The origin story of the popularity of this god is based on real events. After the landing of the Persian troops on the coast of Marathon, in the east of Attica, Athens decided to send a professional messenger and long-distance runner to Sparta to request their help. It was August 5th, 490 BC. Phidippides, the messenger runner, had to cover 225 kilometers, or 140 miles on poor roads or no roads. After running all night, at dawn he stopped to rest in a shrine in Arcadia. At this moment, the runner had an epiphany. Pan appeared in person, which filled him with terror. Modern scholars think that he had an hallucination due to exhaustion and lack of sleep. However, in antiquity these events were taken naturally. Pan told the runner,
"Phidippides, why the Athenians do not pay attention to me despite the affection I have for them, considering I have helped them in the past and I will help them in the future."
The runner promised Pan that he would pass his message to the authorities when he returned home. Phidippides finally arrived in Sparta a few hours later. He communicated the news and the Spartans decided to help once the festivities were over 1 week later. The Battle of Marathon took place on August 12th, 490 BC, and was a great victory for the Athenians. It is said that the god Pan was in the battlefield fighting the invaders alongside the Athenians. The Persian troops withdrew by ship in a southerly direction to round the Cape Sunio and to try to attack Athens directly. After the battle, the Athenian troops marched quickly back to Athens and arrived just before the Persian landing. At that moment, the Persians decided to consider the military campaign lost. The Spartans arrived 1 day later, visited the battlefield at Marathon, and agreed that the Athenians had had a great victory. The sanctuaries in honor of Pan were established in gratitude for this victory. Properly in Athens, there were at least 3 sanctuaries. The first sanctuary of Pan is located in a cave on the northern face of the Acropolis hill, right above the Clepsydra fountain. The second is found behind the temple of Olympic Zeus, in the last uncovered section of the Ilissos River. There is a relief of Pan in the rock that can still be seen on some sunny afternoons. The third sanctuary is located on Apostlou Pavlou Street, a few meters from the Pnyx and the so-called Kalliroi fountain. It consisted of several chambers. Parts of a mosaic and a section of fresco are preserved. Inside the chamber there is a relief of Pan with a nymph and a dog. This chamber is closed to the public, but it is possible to see the relief if you stick your mobile phone into the chamber. We think that there may have existed a 4th sanctuary, prior to this last one, a few meters above at the foot of the old road. This sanctuary consists only of small caves and votive pits for leaving offerings. In the surroundings of Athens, there are other 5 sanctuaries. The first cave is located in Mount Poikilo. This cave is also known as the Cave of Daphne, being less than 1 kilometer from the monastery of Daphne. It is important to remember that the monastery in ancient times was a temple of Apollo and formed part of the sacred way. In this cave there are 3 votive pits but no inscriptions, and is only known of the worship of Pan through offerings found. The second sanctuary is located on Mount Parnes, northwest of Athens, near the Hellenistic fortress of Philae. To visit this cave, it is necessary to do a short but very hard hike. Furthermore, due to the fires of 2024 in the area, the trail is blocked by dozens of fallen trees, which greatly increases the difficulty. This sanctuary is located within a canyon of a river at half height. so to reach it is necessary to cross the river on foot and walk upwards. Or to climb down using your hands if coming from the other route. The cave environment is beautiful, and one could even say epic. The entrance to the cave is covered with votive niches. There is a votive relief inscribed above to the right of the entrance at a height of 3 meters. The relief shows Pan with a dog and says, "Good fortune tell us for us in this gorge of Celadon that the workers set up Pan's image. This sacrifice was supervised by Trophimeus." The writing belongs to the 3rd century AD. A curious fact is that this sanctuary was in use until late antiquity, around 5th or 6th century, and over 2,000 oil lamps were found here. That is why this cave is also known as the Cave of the Lamps. The cave, when we visited, was slightly flooded. Water was coming out from the back of the cave and forming a small waterfall. Unfortunately, even with the 2 headlights, it was impossible to film inside the cave correctly. There were stalactites in the ceiling and also bats, although we noticed this afterwards. The 3rd sanctuary is located on Mount Penteli, northeast of Athens, next to a large modern quarry. If the name sounds familiar to you, it is from here that the marble was quarried to build the different monuments of the Acropolis, including the Parthenon. This sanctuary of Pan is small and functioned for less time, due to the collapse of the roof in the 2nd century of our era. Here were found 5 lamps, terracotta dolls, and 2 marble reliefs, which are exhibited in the National Archaeological Museum of Athens. This sanctuary is located a few meters from the road of the quarry, where the marbles for the Acropolis were extracted. Down the same path, about 150 meters away, is the famous Cave of Davili. It has been said that this cave was also a sanctuary of Pan, but there are no evidence to support that claim. We made a video where we explored the cave in detail. Sadly, the mountain has lost its charm due to massive marble exploitation, and it looks like a slum. The 4th shrine is our favorite by far. Known also as the Nympholeptus Cave or the Archidimus Cave, it is a subterranean shrine where the walls of the cave are carved, and it includes an author's self-portrait. We have also dedicated a video to this site. Unfortunately, it is closed to the public. And the 5th cave is located in Oinoe, very close to Marathon, which is the origin of all this story. The entrance of this cave is extremely small, and we decided not to explore it inside, but they say there are stalactites with shapes of goats. We found a video in another channel where the cave is explored in detail. And to finish this video, we have 4 fun facts. First, in honor of the great athletic feat achieved by Phidippides to request help from the Spartans, an ultramarathon called Spartathlon was created, which is held every year covering more or less the same route as the messenger. Second, the events that inspired the modern marathon never occurred. The runner who ran 42 kilometers to announce the victory and fell dead did not exist. The myth comes from an account by Plutarch of the 1st century AD, and it was clearly inspired in the story of the messenger plus the fast return of the troops. Third, there is a chance that the choice of the cave in Penteli was not random. A few meters above the Parthenon quarry, there is a privileged viewpoint with a view of the beach of Marathon, where the Persians landed. There is the possibility that it was the quarry workers who saw the Persian fleet and gave the warning. Fourth and last, the cave of Archidimus has an unusual shape, where it is not possible to see the exit of the cave, but light coming from outside against the back wall. If someone stands in the cave mouth, you would see the shadow of the person instead of the person. This is why this cave is considered to be the inspiration for the allegory of the cave of Plato. Don't forget to check our channel for other interesting videos and check our Ko-fi page, where we have our maps and audio guides. Thanks for watching and see you in the next adventure.